sweetie.
Hi, this is Robbie from Southern California. I have a story to tell you on a bird that we saved a couple years ago. I was apprehensive yesterday to say anything about this because I thought it was no big deal. But we've had a lot of birds here on the deck. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is not the bird garden. The bird garden is on the other side of the citrus trees down there. The bird garden doesn't get the same birds that it's got here now. Look at this. We have got about 50 orioles that are now staying on the deck. Now, of course, they're here with the 1,000 hummingbirds because they're feeding from the feeders. And I'm spreading the feeders now all along here. I'm actually in the process of putting more out right now. And they're all along there. So we've got the orioles. I don't know if you can see them. Hold on. They're literally everywhere. And we have the hoodeds, which you can see right there. Let me back down. And then we've got the bullocks, males and females. But we've had so many more birds here. It's been unbelievable. We have had the mockingbirds here just singing their heart out. It's been unbelievable, absolutely beautiful. And then we have had the kingbirds. Now the kingbirds are feeding on the carrot wood that's flowering there. Let me show you. That's carrot wood, and that's what the kingbirds are feeding on. Tanagers, western tanagers that came around in this area, they were right off the deck here. But what I wanted to talk about was a story that happened over 2 years ago on the deck here. It's an unbelievable story because I couldn't believe it myself. I came outside because I heard a little bird crying. And it was actually, I can walk over here and tell you the story. There was no food bowls. I was not feeding any birds on the deck at that point, only hummingbirds and orioles. And he showed up right here where you see in front. Oh my goodness, it's a baby. Look at this. Oh, look. That's an English sparrow or a house sparrow. Look at that. And she's got 2 babies with her. She's taught them that there's food here. Oh my goodness, this is right in front of me with me standing here. You know why I'm so excited about this? I shouldn't be, because look at this. There are orioles all around me. It's because when they first started showing up here about 2 years ago, if they saw me or heard me, they would leave. And I really enjoyed them because I grew up in Los Angeles going to farmers market and they were all over at your feet. But here they were really shy. Well, now that last year the babies came in here and found out there was all kinds of food here, they've now brought their babies and they're tame. I actually see a father in the tree there. I don't know if I can zoom in enough. Hold on. Right there. There's the dad. So going back to my story, because now I'm getting off kilter on this. I stepped out here and there was a baby.
What's the matter?
This, a male house finch, red. Is he not gorgeous in front of me? There was a baby robin. Now, there are robins. They do periodically stay here a little bit. We don't have many stay here. Those are the doves up in the tree there. They normally come in here, they forage, and then they leave. We had this winter thousands. Now, we didn't have the big flush that came through about 9-10 years ago where there must have been 25,000 of them hanging around here. They didn't go to the Midwest. It was a cold winter, so they ended up staying here. But now they leave. And Gary told me he hasn't seen any robins, in the past few weeks. They all left. So it's kind of rare to see them. But anyways, back in July of 2023, I stepped out on the deck and there was a baby sitting right here. And I walked up to him and he was screaming and screaming and screaming and he wanted me to pick him up. I picked him up, we brought him in the house and he wouldn't eat. Now, I don't know if he was absolutely starving. He saw all the birds around here and decided this was the place to come. He couldn't find food if he wasn't feeling well, or there was another thing. Was he hand-fed by somebody? Did somebody find him, think he had fallen out of the nest, brought him in, And then the parents left because remember I've been telling you a lot of these birds branch very young. They look like they should be in the nest, but they're actually branching. They're coming out to let the parents feed them in bushes and stuff. Somebody might have started to feed him. And then what happened was he couldn't find food. He really didn't know how to eat on his own. Maybe he couldn't quite eat good enough and he got really hungry. I don't know. But whatever happened, we brought him in. We kept him in the house for about a day and a half. And once he started eating on his own, Gary was finding him earthworms, cut up apple. He was eating all kinds of fruit and stuff. Once he started picking it off the plate, he wanted out of the cage. And I don't blame him because he actually knew how to eat, but something happened. And we brought him out here and gave him the choice to leave or not leave after we were taking care of him. He decided to leave. He went into the trees and I'm going to say, saw her again. That was July 2023. Always wondered what happened. So yesterday, knowing that we could not see any more robins have left, I'm feeding the birds yesterday, the hummingbirds. I'm going back and forth, and I come over here to the deck. Now, I have no way to prove this to you because my cameras couldn't pick up any sound because I had the TV blasting in the house, and everybody else around here was screaming. I put a camera here now. And there was no real camera, one little camera, you can't see anything. I walk out here and I'm doing the hummingbirds and there is a robin here on the deck, screaming and screaming at me like the baby did that day. And I look at it and I walk up to it and I said, "Do I know you?" And she was just screaming away. And then she went into the tree right here, the avocado tree. She sat for a few minutes and I would talk to her and she was talking to me, jibber-jabbering away, and she left. And I said to Gary when he came in, I didn't have a phone in hand, no camera, no nothing. Could it be the bird and knew the deck because they're not friendly here? Maybe in your area they are, but they never come that close. Even when they come into the bird garden, they'll come get a drink and then they leave. If they see you, they leave. I don't know. So I thought, oh, well, am I going to tell you the story? Are you interested? I think I put a little blurb out and, a couple, 2.5 years ago on it. It was inside another video about, we had a visitor. And I didn't make a separate video on it because to us, it's no big deal. It's just part of life. If something needs help, we help it. But now today, I come out here and I'm doing the hummingbirds just a little bit ago. And lo and behold, here she is. And she chattered and chattered. Gary stepped down here. I said, you got to see this. And she came right to the deck and chattered away. And then she went into the tree. And it was like she was showing me this is her mate. She brought a male with her. Now, we don't have right now a lot of robins around. There's going to be a few, but we haven't seen them. And she stayed here for the longest time today. I would say she was here for about, maybe 30 minutes until the ravens came and chased her off. But she came back and forth to me to the deck. And it was almost like she was saying hello. It was the strangest thing. And I hope it was because it was really, really touching. Very tame bird. I mean, she didn't let me pick her up, but she came right to the deck. But she was just chattering away like she's having a little conversation with me. And then she went into the tree. She had her mate, and then when the ravens chased them away, they're gone. So I just thought I would share that with you. We just love the birds here, but I have never seen so many birds like what was on the deck today. Unbelievable to see right here, right around the deck, the kingbirds, the mockingbirds, the western tanager. I mean, we see them come into the garden to get a drink because they're fruit eaters, but the western tanager was here. Everybody was here. And it's been a very busy time on the deck. I've been doing other things today. We've had rain off and on. And so we've been working in the house, outside. I've been working in the garden. I've been planting plants. I'm still working on more seedlings. It's been a really fun day today. But I sure do hope that it was her coming back to say, hi, remember me? I'm the one that showed up on the deck. You brought me in. You fed me when I was starving. And then you let me back to freedom as soon as I was ready to go hunt. So I thought I'd share that story with you. With that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Just absolutely gorgeous. This is so weird. I just ended this video to tell you she left, and there she is. And she's talking to me. Look at this. So what do you got to say? What do you have to say? You are always welcome here, young lady. Is that not beautiful? Oh my goodness. She's right off the deck here again after she was chased off by the ravens. Off she goes. In the sky she goes. She's making a circle. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can't believe she came back while I was working on this video just now. Cool. That really makes my day.